Chandrasekhar Azad. Chandrasekhar Azad, original name Chandrasekhar Tiwari. Chandrasekhar, also spelled Chandra space Shekhar. Born 23rd July 1906, Bhabra, India. Died on 27th February 1931, Allahabad, now Prayagraj. Indian revolutionary who organized and led a band of militant youth during India's independence movement. Azad was drawn into the Indian national movement at a young age when apprehended by the police at age 15 while participating in Mahatma Gandhiji's non-cooperation movement 1922 at Banaras, now Varanasi. He gave his name as Azad, Urdu, free or liberated, and his addresses as prison. Although, because of his age, he was not imprisoned, he was given a severe flogging by the police. The Indian National Congress soon lionized him and he gained popularity among the Indian people. Azad was disappointed by Gandhiji's suspension of the non-cooperation movement in February 1922 after several policemen had been murdered by a revolutionary mob at Chauri Chaura. Joining the radical Hindustan Republican Association, Azad participated in several violent crimes, notably the Kakori train robbery 1925 and the revenge killing of a British police officer 1928. Known for his organizational skills, Azad played a key role in reorganizing the HRA Hindustan Socialist Republican Association after most of the HRA's members had been killed or imprisoned. His crimes had made him a wanted man, but Azad was able to elude the police and its informants for several years. According to Jawaharlal Nehru's autobiography, it was during this period of underground existence that Azad met Nehru in early 1931 to inquire whether, under the discussions being held that resulted in the signing of the Gandhi-Irwin Pact in March, the revolutionaries could expect a fair deal leading to their honorable rehabilitation. Determined never to be captured by police, Azad was constantly on the move. On 27 February 1931, Azad arranged to meet a revolutionary at Allahabad's Alfred Park, now Azad Park. He was betrayed to the police, who surrounded him as soon as he entered the park. A gun battle ensued in which two police officers were wounded and Azad was fatally shot. Bipin Chandra Pal, Indian journalist. Bipin Chandra Pal, born on 7th November 1858, Sylhet, India, now in Bangladesh, died on May 20th, 1932, Calcutta, now Kolkata. Indian journalist and an early leader of the national movement by his contributions to various newspapers and through speaking tours, he popularized the concepts of Swadeshi, exclusive use of Indian made goods, and Swaraj independence. Though originally considered a moderate within the Indian National Congress by 1919, Pal had moved closer to the more militant policies of Bal Gangadhar Tilak, one of the leading nationalist politicians. In later years, Pal allied himself with fellow Bengali nationalists who resented the cult of personality surrounding Mahatma Gandhi, the most popular nationalist leader. Pal's overriding concern in his writings from 1912 to 1920 was to achieve confederation of the different regions and different communities within India. After 1920, he remained aloof from national politics but continued to contribute to Bengali journals. Dadabhai Nauroji, Indian nationalist leader. Dadabhai Nauroji, born on 4th September 1825, Bombay, now Mumbai, India, died 30th June 1917, Bombay. Indian nationalist and critic of British economic policy in India. Educated at Elphinstone College, Bombay, He was professor of mathematics and natural philosophy, therefore there before turning to politics and a career in commerce that took him to England, where he spent much of his life. He stood unsuccessfully for election to Parliament in 1886. In 1892, however, he was elected Liberal Member of Parliament for Central Finsbury, London. He became widely known for his unfavorable opinion of the economic consequences of British rule in India and was appointed a member of the Royal Commission on Indian Expenditure in 1895. In 1886, 1893, and 1906, he also presided over the annual sessions of the Indian National Congress, which led the nationalist movement in India. In the session of 1906, he conciliatory tactics helped to postpone the impending split between moderates and extremists in the Congress party. In his many writings and speeches, and especially in Poverty and Un-British Rule in India, 1901, Nairoji argued that India was too highly taxed and that its wealth was being drained away to England. Lala Lajpat Rai, Indian writer and politician. Lala Lajpat Rai, born 1865 Dhudike, India, died November 17, 1928, Lahore, now in Pakistan. Indian writer and politician, outspoken in his advocacy of a militant anti-British nationalism in the Indian National Congress and as a leader of the Hindu supremacy movement. After studying law at the Government College in Lahore, Lala Rajpat Rai practiced at Hisar and Lahore, where he helped to establish the nationalistic Dayananda Anglo-Vedic school and became a follower of Dayananda Saraswati, the founder of the conservative Hindu society Arya Samaj, Society of Aryans. After joining the Congress party and taking part in political agitation in the Punjab, Lajpat Rai was deported to Mandalay, Burma, now Myanmar, without trial in May 1907. In November, however, he was allowed to return when the Viceroy Lord Minto decided that there was insufficient evidence to hold him for subversion. Lajpat Rai's supporters attempted to secure his election to the presidency of the party session at Surat in December 1907, but elements favoring cooperation with the British refused to accept him and the party split over the issues. During World War I, Lajpat Rai lived in the United States, where he founded the Indian Home Rule League of America 1917 in New York City. He returned to India in early 1920 and later that year he led a special session of the Congress Party that launched Mahatma Gandhi's non-cooperation movement. Imprisoned from 1921 to 1923, he was elected to the Legislative Assembly on his release. In 1928, he introduced the Legislative Assembly resolution for the boycott of the British Simon Commission on constitutional reform. Shortly thereafter, he died after being attacked by police during a demonstration in Lahore. Lajpat Rai's most important writings include The Story of My Deportation 1908, Arya Samaj 1915, The United States of America, A Hindu's Impression 1916, England's Debt to India, A Historical Narrative of Britain's Fiscal Policy in India 1917, and Unhappy India 1928.